Hello YouTubers, it's Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly update video. And got some stuff to show you, and this week was a pretty decent one. I got a chance to do some customs and stuff, and work on a couple of things. Scored an Ultra Red, we'll take a look at that in a second. Well, I didn't score it, Todd scored it, and traded it to me basically. So anyway, didn't haul it in real too heavy this week, but the next weekly video should be a pretty good one. I'm going to, in the middle of the week this next week, I'm going to the Iola car show, which is a gigantic, huge swap meet deal thing and car show. And there's a lot of diecast selling going on there. So got a small budget to go and get a bunch of stuff. So I think next week's episode is going to be pretty rad. But anyway, for this week, starting with, I did find the Target Red exclusives. These Red Edition cars. You got the Chevy Nova. Looks alright. The Night Shifter fantasy casting. Still looks kind of cool. And then we got the, this one actually looks really cool, this Dodge Charger SRT. So I'll probably crack one of those, why not? I picked up 3 of this Charger. I picked up 1 set of these Red Edition cars for Angel. They are Hotbox. And that's pretty sweet. I'm digging that. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So got those Red Edition cars. That was pretty much, I think, my only store find of the week. My buddy JC Customs Diecast, I think it's JC_Customs_Diecast. I think that's what his Instagram name is. Anyway, go check him out. He's a local buddy of mine. He came over last night, and we kind of worked on some customs over here, and just, you know, had a few drinks and whatnot, and just kind of hung out, and it was a fun time. Did a little trading as well. He hooked me up with this Boulevard 993 GT2, which I've been after this for my collection. I'm not sure which ones of these are casting I'm still missing, but I do have quite a few of them. Got the Golf one, I got this one. I don't know what other ones there are that are really hard to get or kind of expensive, but happy to check this one off the list, so that's pretty cool. Thank you very much for that, Josh. And then he also picked me up a couple of Ferraris. These you got in live sales, specifically with the express purpose of trading them to me. There's another Ferrari F50, pretty cool. I do collect the F40 casting, and I don't think I have this one in just straight black, so that's pretty awesome to get that. And then you've got me a couple of Silverados. This yellow one, I don't think I have it at all. We're going to crack it. There that is. I think, what is this, from 2014? I bet you I do probably have it. I probably do have it somewhere. But not loose, so now I got one loose. This other one is probably going to be customized. I'll probably put headlights in it and make a headlight custom. I really do like doing this casting. It's a fun casting to customize. It's a fun casting to put headlights in. And if you guys haven't seen it, go check out my video on how to add LED headlights to this car. It's pretty cool. It's a little tutorial video. One of the only tutorial videos I've done. As far as customs that are kind of ready to show you, oh, he also painted this for me and put Real Riders on it and gave it to me. He made it right before he came over to my house, so the paint was still kind of wet when he brought it over. I'm still going to finish this off. I'm going to detail it. I may get rid of this back part and just leave a straight bumper. I haven't seen what the casting looks like under there, but I'm sure it's got a normal backside of a van, so I might take that tire and like the jerry cans and stuff off and see what I can do with this thing. Add some details to it and whatnot. But I think these wheels look really good on it, and this color is pretty sweet. He airbrushes all of his customs. I still use rattle cans. I do get some pretty good results, but I do just use rattle cans. Here's a couple customs that are ready to show you. We'll take a brief look at them now and a close look at them in the next segment. This Porsche 959. This was featured on the Lamley blog, or it was in the Lamley as is the customs. He picks up, you know, a bunch of customs to show on the blog. This one was on there, the picture I took of this custom. That was before it was detailed. Now I detailed it a bit. So it looks pretty nice. And I got this GT40. This is a Matchbox. This looks pretty cool. We'll take a closer look at this in the second half. And then this Firebird's ready to show. This one's pretty awesome. Started this a while ago, finally detailed it and added wheels to it. That complements this Firebird, which I had made previous and showed in a previous video, but we'll take a look at those together. Decal on that one, the Fire Chicken, was provided by Nesto P, so hit him up if you want decals made. Todd picked up some Auto World for me, which I already shared on my Instagram, I believe. This guy, Mustang. We're gonna crack this sucker loose. I already have one of these. And then he picked me up another Golf GT, which I may use this one to replace my other loose one. I think I played with that one a little too much and I chipped the paint on it, so now I gotta crack a different one. And then this right here, Ultra Red Chevy Kingswood Estate. This thing is sweet. We'll take a close look at this. I'm not gonna crack it, but we will take a close look at this the second half of the video. Got an antique store find. I just didn't have this in my collection from Auto World. It's from Series 1. It's a Release 1 car I didn't have, so I picked it up. Paid $6 for it, and definitely going to crack that open. We'll take a look at that. I have the Ultra Red of that casting too, so I'll probably bust that out, and the other color that it was in. That casting was only used once, so you know it's got the 2 A and B variation, and then the Ultra Red. So we'll look at all 3 of those. Got my hobby exclusive GT40. I posted this to my Instagram, and I just got a question asking if it was an error. Well, it's not an error. It's just this is the hobby exclusive version, and I'm not talking about the Miho exclusive version, okay? Because there's going to be, essentially there's going to be 3 versions of this Golf GT40 that you're going to be able to get. One's got the circle with the number, one's just got the circles without the number, and one is totally clean, no circles, no numbers. Okay? Got it? So there is that. And then also there's 2 hobby exclusive versions of this. This is the one without any numbers, just plain black. It's black, it's got gray stripes on it. We'll take a closer look on the other side of the camera here in a moment, but then the Miho exclusive actually has the number on the side. So, but these are just awesome. I'm going to get any version that ever comes out. It's kind of silly that they're coming out with 3 Golf versions. You know, they're all, each one is limited to about 1,200 something, but still, I mean, that's kind of cheating a little bit around too. But pretty cool nonetheless, because obviously they got me. They got my money. I'm going to pick them up. So there is that. I got an eBay purchase, threw a lowball bid on these, and won them both. Actually, no, it wasn't a lowball bid. This was actually a buy it now. I kind of casually watched this casting, these Ertl American Muscles, this Dodge Daytona, and if you are a fan of the Dodge Daytona, you need to get some of these. It's the same casting as the Racing Champions that just came out, Racing Champions Mint. They reused that casting in the first release. So I'm going to crack these open. We'll take a look at those as well as the whole family. I know I've showed the rest of them that I had in a different video, but we'll take a look at them all together again with the addition of these 2. My buddy Suresh, awesome dude, picked me up a couple of things from Toys R Us while I was at work and couldn't go. Picked me up this Volkswagen Type 2 double cab pickup. That's pretty sweet, in the Black Bandit series. Well, I'm going to crack that one open. He picked me up 2 of these Firebirds, and this is the opposite coloration of the one that I already had. This is version A. I have version B already cracked open, so I'll crack open the version A one. Why not? And then 2 of these International Scouts in School Bus Yellow. Pretty sweet. One of these definitely could be for trade. The other one I'm going to open up and we'll take a look at it. So there's that. I picked up at Toys R Us today. There was nothing new there, but I just wanted to pick up something, and they've got these Hot Rod Power Tour cars in, and I thought this Mercury was pretty cool looking, and I like the color on it. It's got plastic wheels, but again, we'll crack that open, take a look at it. And last but not least, Suresh also picked me up 2 more Best of Matchbox, one of these to have carded. I already have one of these cracked open. And then one of these that I will go ahead and crack open and take a look at. And that's it. So let's go, let's crack some stuff open and take a look at it loose. Alright, let's start by taking a look at a couple of customs. Here is that custom from my buddy Josh, local pal. See those wheels? Those wheels look great on this van. I think they look excellent on the van. It just needs a little more details and stuff, maybe a clear coat, and I think this thing will look really sweet. So again, thank you Josh for that. Here is that Ford GT that I did. This one's pretty interesting. I actually put some camber on the wheels here, and the only reason I did that was to get this thing lowered and make these wheels fit and actually kind of roll. It still needs a little adjusting, but they roll okay. I mean, it does roll. They just rub a bit. I detailed this one out pretty good. Got some detail in the rear there. I painted it with a translucent dark color, translucent black over a metal cast. And I think it looked good. I think it looks good. It's a pretty good looking custom. Put those NASCAR wheels on it. I dig it. I think it's pretty sweet. There's that one. And then this guy... Shout out to Angel AR Hotbox. We were actually on the phone talking while I was kind of monkeying around with customs, and he said that the wheels would look really good. These Arrow wheels would look really good on a Porsche 959, because that's kind of what they originally had. Like the prototype of this car kind of had wheels that were almost just like this. So I said, yeah, you know, that would look really good. So I chopped apart a couple of the, what were they, the Porsche 935 or whatever it was, that had the red version that has a small wheel and a big wheel. I chopped up two of them, saved the two big wheels, took the two small wheels, and put them on here after painting them this metal cast color. So, used that. Painted some details on it. They turned out okay. It's not my best detail job ever, but I think this casting looks pretty awesome. This is a pretty awesome custom, and I'm satisfied with it. And it rolls very well, which is cool. So there's that. And then the couple of Firebirds. This one turned out sweet. These wheels are from the custom Volkswagen Beetle from the air-cooled set. And that looks pretty dope. I think it's awesome. So, detail in the front, detail in the rear. Rolls quite nice. And it complements this one, which I made a couple weeks before. Same concept, same casting, same decal. Well, not quite the same decal, slightly different, but looking pretty good. So there's those two customs. Happy with the way that those turned out. Those are finished. Here's that red edition Target car. Probably the best one out of the three, I would say. And I think I like the graphic on this side of this. I think the red color looks good, and pretty cool looking mainline. So that's pretty awesome. All right, now let's take a quick look at these. And this is upsetting. We're gonna take a quick look at these Dodge Daytonas. Okay, so you got this one from Racing Champions, this one from Racing Champions, release 1, beautifully done, very excellent done. These are super detailed castings. The base is super detailed. It's got all these little plastic bits in the bottom that cover up the screws and all that stuff. It's got an opening hood. It's also got an opening trunk, and there's a spare tire in the trunk too, which is pretty cool. So there's that. Here's another version of it. This is one of the Ertl ones, Ertl Vintage American Muscle, which those castings are really neat. All of them have like a super detailed base. They're all plastic on the base, but it's really detailed. They do all have rubber tires, opening features, detailed interiors and stuff. This one actually has a painted steering wheel and some other painted pieces on the inside of it. Opening features. I think all of them have opening trunks and hoods. Really awesome, right? So here's another one that I got. That's pretty cool. I think this one came out of a multi-pack of castings that I got a while back. Very awesome, very detailed, very cool. This is the Ertl version. I think these Ertl cars came out around 2000, 2001-ish, in that area, and you can get them fairly cheap if you are patient on eBay. A lot of times people are asking way too much for them, but if you're patient, you can get them fairly cheap. So I think I got the 3-pack of these cars for like $12 shipped or something like that back when I got that. And then I got a smoking deal on these ones. And I just took these out of the package. Now, you saw them when they were in the package. It had them with their hoods and stuff open. And that kind of sucks because I had to really force this hood to get it down. I had to force this thing to get it down in the right position. And the paint on this one is kind of screwed up. It's like oxidized. It's starting to bubble a little bit. Looks like this one wheel is kind of messed up too in the package. And, you know, maybe this is a case for why you should crack your cars. And maybe I should start looking for perfect examples of these loose because not happy with the way that this one came out of the package. You know, you can't really tell how bad it is on camera probably. It still looks pretty decent. But this yellow one, on the other hand, we got some issues. Look at that. Yeah, that's right. The hood is crumbling, falling apart. I've never had that issue with one of these vintage American Muscle castings, having them falling apart. But yeah, this one, the paint's not as bad oxidized on the whole body of the car, like it is or whatever on this, so it's not bubbly. But on the hood of this one, obviously, the metal is like just crumbling. I bet you if I wanted to right now, I could just straight up break this thing. Just break it in my hands and crumble it in my hands. So I don't know what exactly causes that to happen. But it's very unfortunate because now I thought I got a smoking deal on these cars. And this one, you know, it's no fault to the eBay seller because there's no way they would have known without super closely inspecting it. And I had no idea until I opened it up. And when I opened up the car, I'm like, oh no, it's all crumbly. So that sucks. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I might make a custom out of this casting, maybe. Might leave it as is for right now, but I think this thing is going to have to get customized. Maybe I can make like a sweet, like weathered look Daytona, detail it out. Might look cool. It'd be fun to kind of take one of these cars apart anyway. I think these also were sold as model kits that you could actually just put together. So all the pieces were apart and you could actually put them together. So maybe I'll do a video and deconstruct one of these castings and we can take a look at how many parts and pieces there are. I really do still like this Vintage American Muscle series. I think it's really cool if you can find the cars in good shape. Like the other ones were just perfect. The other ones I got, these Daytonas, were perfect. So I was really just disappointed to have any issues with these. And I don't know. That's just too bad. I've had the only other problem I've had, other time I've had an issue like this was with racing champions. So older racing champions cars, some of them you can just crush in your hand after they've been in the package for so long. So I don't know what causes that. If anybody knows, let me know. All right, so moving on. Wiping our tears from that broken casting. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this VW double cab real quick. Showed a bunch of these in the last video. This is just one that's keeping me caught up with what's out for this casting. So I had to pick that one up. Pretty sweet. You know I like my VW buses and bugs, so I had to grab that. Then we got this Matchbox, best of. Just going to crack that open. These best of Matchbox are pretty cool. I wish they would do the Auto World thing, though, with the box and make the insert fit inside the box with the casting snug inside of it. I think that would be pretty cool. The one cool move that, obviously, that they made with this series of cars is they do have Hot Wheels real riders on them. So, and that just makes them look great. So plastic base, metal body, rubber tires with tread. Really cool wheels on this little police BMW. I think it looks pretty awesome. I think the only one I'm missing from the current series is the VW bus. So I'm going to have to get that one. I'm pretty sure there's a VW bus in there, and I need to get that. So I'm sure I'll get it eventually. Right now, these are basically found at Meijer stores, I think is where they're mostly popping up. I haven't seen them at my Toys R Us yet. They still have the old Best of Matchbox, and I haven't seen them anywhere else either. All right, so now take a quick look at this Ultra Red. Very, very nice. We don't really need to look too hard into this, but thank you so much, Crazy Todd, again, for finding another Ultra Red and then trading it to me for good buddy stuff. That's pretty awesome of you. I know I wouldn't be able to do that. I would definitely be keeping them in my collection. And then this sick GT40 in black. This is awesome. We will definitely take another look at both of these hobby exclusive GT40s once I get the Miho ones. Then we can kind of take a look at all the versions together. I regretfully did not order 2 of each of these, and I wish I would have because I really want to break them loose, but I don't want to do it right now. But these were only $4.99 a piece off 3000toys.com, which unfortunately does not have any of these left. So you're going to have to get them off of eBay, or I think they're on sale at autoworldstore.com. Again, there's a look at the original one. So there's those. And we'll crack a couple things. Here's that, this pretty sweet Dodge Dart Phoenix. And I just remembered I forgot to grab the other 2 cars, and I said we were going to take a look at those. So we'll take a look at that for just a second. We'll set that up there, right there. And I'll quickly run over and grab the other 2. So I don't remember whether this is version A or if this is version A. But this casting is really cool. It's huge. It's really long. Opening hood, of course. The open detailed engine bay. Very nice in blue. Very nice in red. And this was the one I was missing. And also very nice in ultra red. I think I got this ultra red from Lamar Fashion. Shout out to you, buddy. Pretty awesome. This is a cool casting. I don't know if they're going to re-release this one or not. They've re-released most of the castings so far. And there's plans for a few more in the next series that are being re-released that haven't been yet. But this one only was used once. So we'll see if it comes back. I like this casting, actually. Some people don't really like it. I think it's a cool car. Or cool looking car, and I just like how huge it is. So it's a long one. That's pretty cool. Alright, so there's that. Quickly, we'll take a look at this Mustang. Crack that open. Save the box, of course, for that one and this one. And there's this Mustang. I had to have one of these loose just because of the color of this thing. The paint on this is just gorgeous. It looks very, very nice. Again, we got detail all around, opening hood, nice looking wheels, rubber tires with tread, detailed base, metal base, very substantial weight to it. You know, I say it every time. I love Autoworld. Autoworld's my fave, and you know, good reasons why, because they're just quality stuff. Yes, I would like to see them branch out a little bit and do some other, you know, European cars and stuff like that. Just imagine that. Imagine them putting out like a, you know, getting like a Lamborghini or Ferrari license and coming out with a sick all metal, super detailed Lamborghini Countach. That would just be a dream come true to me. So that would be pretty awesome. So there's that. Here's this Mercury from the Hot Rod Power Tour, one of 1,256. Round 2, I'm telling you, is just killing it. They're just doing it right, I think. I really like what they're doing. These short runs, you know, lots of different releases, lots of stuff to choose from now from round 2. But all of them short runs, so when you get something, you feel like you got something special because there's not a whole ton of them made. You know, only 1,200. That's not a lot. It just isn't. You know, I'm sure once the demand gets, you know, higher for these cars and stuff like that, if they start selling a lot more, the production numbers probably will increase. If they don't increase, they're probably just going to play games like this, where you're going to have one car like this that's limited to 1,240 something, and then one car with a slight variation that's also limited to 1,200, you know, whatever, 50. So in total, we got almost 3,000 or whatever, 2,500 of that casting, and then they're coming out with yet another one that's Mio exclusive. But you know, I wouldn't mind if they made more of them. I wouldn't mind if they were ran in like 2,000, 3,000. I would still buy them. So I'm not buying them technically for the limited factor. I'm just buying them because I really like them. So, and I thought this car was cool. I really like the color of this car, and that's why I had to pick it up. So I grabbed it. Plastic tires and wheels, whatever, doesn't really bother me. So pretty sweet. So there's that. And then, let's see, lastly, we got the 2 other Johnny Lightnings. This is also from the Hot Rod Power Tour. There's your Firebird. I showed the other version of that car last week, and that's the only difference right there. The white lightning of this thing looks awesome. Looks completely awesome. So I would love to have one of those, but I'm sure that's going to be ridiculous expensive. So aside from finding it in the wild, I'll probably never have it. But I think they did a good job with this. I think it looks nice. It's actually someone's car. I don't know what the real car is painted. What was it on the card? The real car, I believe, is actually black with the red flames. So this is the actual vehicle that was on the Hot Rod Power Tour. This would be just a variation of that. So pretty cool. And then lastly, this International Scout. All right, so here's another one. So these Internationals are tough to find in the wild. And the reason is because people like me, if they see them, they pick them up. I don't care if I got 5 of them. If I see one of these in the store, same with that Golf GT, I'm going to pick it up. I can't leave it behind. It's not possible. It is just not possible for me to just leave it sitting there. I'm going to pick it up because I know, I don't have to hoard it necessarily. I know that someone else will want it that I'll know, and they'll want one, and it'll be a cool thing to hook up somebody else with or trade to somebody else, and I just know you just can't leave it behind. Now, if you do want one of these and you don't really care what color it's in, here's the hood open up, pretty cool. There are 2 hobby exclusives of this right now that can be pre-ordered. So if you want one of these, you can get it fairly inexpensive. I believe they're available on 3000toys.com. If not, eBay will be your friend for that. But if you want this casting, just go buy it. You can just get it for a fairly reasonable price, and you don't have to hunt around for it. But like I said, that's why they're tough to find, because I'm sure people just cannot resist picking these things up no matter how many they already have. I don't know, whatever. I like it that much that it's hard to leave behind. It's the same thing with that Golf GT40 or any GT40 for that matter. I have a hard time leaving them. So that's going to be about it for this video. So again, a pretty good week. Next week should be pretty stellar. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping to get some pretty nice stuff. I already have some pretty cool stuff coming in the mail regardless of what happens at Iola. So I will have stuff to show you. Probably have a couple more customs to show you too by that time. I've got some really cool stuff in the works. Did some sweet paint jobs last night that turned out really, really well. I'm really happy with them. Some I shared on Instagram. So check those out. And that is going to be it. So you guys have a great rest of your week. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Have fun. See some fireworks and stuff. And cook out and do all that good stuff. Try not to get too crazy. And we'll see you next week.